Always make sure you stay hydrated before you start the race. It helps you cross that finish line. And remember, make sure no one blocks your view because this is a short show. Run for it. Sports Night is next.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to Sports Night. I'm Joe Young.
And I'm Howie Shapiro. And yes, it's that time of year where our shows are just a bit shorter.
Well, this is really it for the fall season. One team left in competition at Coon Rapids High School. That's the swimming and diving team. And they've got another week and a half before their section tournament. So this will pretty much be the end of the fall season. We'll take next week off and have a review show on the 15th. But a good finish, a fun season, but only a little bit to get to this week.
Yeah, 1 week off. Did you get the memo? They're sending us on a little vacation.
The puppets, I heard, we're going.
We're going to Des Moines. Can't wait.
We'll look into that. But we have a little bit to talk about here tonight, starting with the football team. They went into the postseason hoping for the best, but knowing the odds were stacked heavily against them. After 5 seasons playing in the 5A section schedule, the Cardinals returned to the Big School Tournament for 2021. With the crossover first week, it meant the 8th-seeded Cardinals from Section 5 went to Eden Prairie, the top seed from Section 6. Eagles were ranked second in the state, and their only loss was to the top team from Lakeville South. It was a monumental challenge, and the Cardinals never backed down. Eden Prairie has a ton of weapons, and they shut off the whole arsenal against Cardinals. First possession ends with a reverse to Toby Frost. He scores easily from the 10, 8-0 Eagles. Next possession, they come right up the middle with Tyler Walden. He's in untouched from 13 yards out. Cardinals just getting started, 15-0. Cardinals try to answer with David Jeebley. Nice 9-yard pickup on first down right here. Jeebley really had a great game against Eden Prairie. The very next play, he bounces to the outside and fights for a first down. Jeebley's great, but the Eagles clearly made it a priority to stop him no matter how many guys it took. That led to a Cardinal shot at the end zone and a scary play near the end of the first quarter. Du Bois looking for Jared Fearing. He gets upended, stayed down, and would leave the field on a cart. Eagles back on the attack in the second fake pitch. Nick Fozzie going up top this time. Great adjustment for Frost to make the catch down inside the 5. That leads to another rushing touchdown. This time it's Noah Erkness. They had 13 different players who carried the ball. None of them compared to this one. This is one of the best runs I've seen in 25 years of high school football. David Jeebley just refuses to go down, dragging guys with him. He finished with 20 carries and 109 yards. But he can't do it all. Cardinals forced to throw. Great read from Eden Prairie's Ja'Cory Bates. Jumps the route, gets the pick, puts the offense on a short field, and they jump at the opportunity. Very next play, Fozzie airing it out, finding Michael Cross behind the defense. The 35-yard score made it 29-0 Eden Prairie at the half. Fourth quarter started with running time, but the Cardinals make it stop by getting on the board. Josh Du Bois over the middle to Josh Cullen. His first catch of the season helps the Cardinals avoid the shutout, but the season ends with a 36-6 loss at the hands of Eden Prairie.
You know, they knew coming in it's going to be a tough one. I mean, obviously, Eden Prairie is just the one loss on the season. You know, head coach Mike Grant always puts together a phenomenal program. But as you mentioned in that first part of the opening, they didn't back down, and they really didn't. And 36-6. Could it have been more? Maybe, quite possibly. They kept their first team in, did Eden Prairie, for a fair part of the game.
It's true.
And until they got that 36-point lead, I think it was, and then they kind of backed off a little bit and brought in some second team play. But I'm going to miss David Jeebley.
Absolutely.
I mean, and all the seniors, of course, on this team. But number 3 is a very special player.
Yeah, he has been fun to watch. So the Eagles move on to the second round of the Class 6A tournament. They will face Lakeville North. Lakeville North, the only upset in the first round of the tournament, beats White Bear Lake 39-0. Everybody else advanced that should. So a 5 over a 4, the only ones, the only upset in that round of 16 games. Of course, the winner of that, then they get on into essentially the state quarterfinal round.
Yeah, it'll be interesting, to see who comes out of that part of the bracket. Obviously, Eden Prairie, the number 1 seed in that spot. They have that opportunity to win, but Farmington's pretty good. They'll see a kind of battle. If they get past, they can give up. Well, the volleyball team also had a tough task to start the section tournament last week, going to Blaine to face the top-seeded Bengals. The Cardinals lost a 3-set match to the Bengals early in the season, but Coach Janine Crooks felt they played them strong. The Cardinals had nothing to lose, and if they could keep it close and get some bounces to go their way, they felt they had a chance to upset the mighty Bengals. Coon Rapids gets exactly the start it needs in the first set, putting the Bengals on their heels early. Soraya Ray hammers the attack off the block for the point here, and the Cardinals lead in the early going. The Bengals drew even at 8-all, but the Cardinals don't give up the lead. Solid serve and receive set up for Michaela Wilbur mid-court. She finds the hole in the defense. Coon Rapids stays in front. But the Bengals get on a roll just after that, and they keep the momentum the rest of the way. Zoe Smith with a block at the net helps Blaine take set 1, 25-12. Similar story in the second. Cardinals get in front early and able to play with the lead. Chloe Hoffman with a huge stuff block. She had a pair of blocks to go with 5 kills against Blaine. Well, Cardinals kept it close into the mid-teens, but the Bengals just too much power from too many places. After Hansen's attack is returned, they go to Natalie Schmitz. She leads, no doubt. Bengals take the second set, 25-17. Bengals looking to sweep up in the third, but the Cardinals keep fighting to the end. Solid strike by Tatum Shevchuk for the kill right here. Nice play there by Tatum, but the Bengals pull away in the third for the most convincing victory of the night. Final point comes down to a quick play at the net, and that Cardinals can't control. Blaine moves on with a 25-11 win in the third, ending the Cardinals season with a 3-18 record.
Yeah, it was a tough year, an adjustment year, new coach, really a solid senior class that's going to be sorely missed.
Yep.
But a lot of the younger players that did get a lot of time are sophomores, so they're going to have a little more stability, hopefully moving forward. Would have liked to have seen a little more success, but they'll take what they got, and they knew going in, like the football team, that Blaine is a pretty powerful team to get in the first round of the tournament. In the Section 7 tournament, no upsets in the first round. Only one that went to 4 sets. That was number 3 Andover over Anoka, and that second round is on Wednesday this week. Well, the Cardinals cross-country teams had their best races of the season last week's section championships, even though they were unable to qualify anyone for state. Both boys and girls teams are extremely young, and for them to be competing at their best at tournament time means all their hard work has paid off. They didn't get anyone to the state meet this year, but there's a ton of potential for years to come. We start with the girls' race. 2 of the 7 Cardinals in the race are seniors. The others will be around a long time. 2 freshmen, 2 8th graders, and 1 7th grader. It's the youngest that gets to the line first. Ruby Demmer finishes her 5K in 25th place, 20 minutes, 55.5 seconds. Senior Lila Gilliard is next in 31st. 8th grader Stella Bone with a great push to the finish line crosses in 22 minutes, 6.6 seconds, 40th place. Senior Julie Headland takes 45th, with 8th grader Ella Legree and freshman Megan Fuller finishing 46th and 47th. Cardinals win a tiebreak and finish 6th as a team. Boys team also just 2 seniors on the section roster, but a little more experience in their depth. The 5 that score will all be back next year. Junior Peyton Martinick leads the way on the course and gets to the finish line in 22nd place overall. Kel Nordquist caps off a great freshman year, finishing 30th place in the section meet. Junior Aaron Casey just behind him in 32nd in 17:46.49. Sophomore Nolan Hazelwood and freshman Cole Burnett are 49th and 51st respectively. Cardinals finish 8th place, but still with positives to take from the race and the season. 14 athletes, 9 of them ran personal bests. 1 more had a season best.
That's fantastic. And a lot of youth that's going to be back next year, too. So we always talk about what experience gives you here at this level. And if you're a younger runner, for example, a 7th grader and 8th grader.
7th and 8th graders,
you get to compete at the varsity.
Times.
Absolutely. Yeah. That's great for the program.
Should be fun to watch for years to come. The swimming and diving, as I mentioned, have their section tournament coming up in a couple of weeks. They are the hosts, as always, at Northdale Middle School Pool for the Section 7 championships. That is the 11th through the 13th, and we'll be back with the fall season review on the 15th.
Pack for Des Moines, because we're leaving in the morning.
Right, so can't wait. Here's what we got. We will be back in time to see the girls hockey team drop the puck for the first time. Season opener on November the 11th as they host Wayzata at the Crick. And we'll see girls hockey for a couple of weeks before anybody else gets going in the winter season. That's going to do it for this edition of Sports Night. I want to thank everybody out there for joining us and continuing to support everything we do here at CTN. For the entire crew, including Howie Shapiro, I'm Joe Young, saying good night.